7,300 working families in my constituency with children were in receipt of tax credits at April 2015, and all will experience an income cut in April. Those with more than 2 children will be particularly badly hit. One couple came to see me in my surgery on Friday. They're going to be facing a cut in their income of over £1,500 a year, and this includes the change in the personal allowance. And they obtained the figure from the Entitled To calculator through the DirectGov website. He is a primary school teacher, earning £26,500, well above the minimum wage, and as a public servant having little expectation of a pay rise above 1%. His partner has pregnancy-related health complications, so she isn't working. Expecting their first child, they said to me that they feel extremely disappointed that an honest young couple with a baby on the way have never claimed a thing and yet do not get any help. It is not right, Madam Deputy Speaker, that a second-year primary teacher is struggling to make ends meet, and that low and middle income earners like this man face the brunt of government cuts yet again. I do not dispute that employers should pay decent wages so that working families are less dependent on the taxpayer to make up the difference, and that we should strive to be a high-skilled, high-wage economy. But until the wages of the lowest pays rise, the government should not withdraw the benefits that allow working families to feed their children, that ensure people can heat their homes, and that ensure working people are able to afford to travel to work. The Resolution Foundation calculates that cuts to tax credits and universal credit next April will create an overnight shock to family incomes, plunging around 200,000 families into poverty, mostly from working households. The so-called national living wage is not a living wage and will simply not compensate these families for their loss of income. Middle and low-income families will continue to need support, not spin. The government justify these cuts by saying they need to make public funds in saving. But where is the assessment of the cost to the public purse of these drastic cuts to the income of so many low-income families? What about the greater risk of people being forced into unemployment and the additional cost to the taxpayer from that? And what about the additional cost of the country of children arriving at school hungry and unable to learn? The greater chance of long-term illness from cold homes, the cost of increased personal debt that my honourable friend from Walthamstow described so clearly. Where is the assessment of the impact on local economies of these changes? The loss of £4.6 billion next financial year. Money spent by low-income people is spent in their community, not playing the stock market.